for today's cup of coffee, as I slobber on myself, we have a what the fuck file. Because it has been, it's just the beginning of a new week, and so it is, we're going to start it out the way that everything's rolling, or keeps rolling. And it's like, this was spurred on by a news article that was from Daily Mail on August the 18th. And this is the title of this, and I wish to God I was making this up. It says, "Don't throw your kids in the air if you've got a ceiling fan, doctors say."
No shit.
I mean, if you don't want the kid anymore, there are better ways to go about it.
And then it says over 20,000 children went to the ER over the last 8 years with ceiling fan injuries.
Do people really have to be told that?
Well, that's the whole thing. And this is the Dumbening.
The Dumbening. Dun dun dun.
This really. Anybody who's ever watched Invader Zim, there was a one of their scenes that was called the Wettening. One of their episodes that was called the Wettening.
Yes.
So that's a takeout. That was an homage to Invader Zim.
The Dumbening.
And that's just like our backdrop today. If you really read that, just take a moment to read what these labels are saying. And it took me, because we had these sitting on the shelf for, a little while. And I got to looking at it and I'm like, what?
Oh,
That's a what the fuck file
Is this one of those moments where you
bathroom.
forgot to take your phone or a book or something into the bathroom and you're like, I'm just going to read the back of the bottles. What?
No, it was just there. I just looked around the room.
Oh.
And so BB hasn't seen this picture yet. So Kid has product and he's going to unveil the products.
All right, let me see what we got.
Here you go.
So
I know this brand. Oh, God.
Do you see the issue?
Yeah.
what do you think the issue is? What your first
Is
observation?
it going to be like, don't ingest? Don't eat
well,
it?
that's one of them. I've been around. That's
it's
been
a
around for a
certain
while.
grammar.
They don't eat soap.
I'll give you a hint. They're using a verb instead of a noun, where a noun should be instead of a verb.
Yes.
Where? What? Okay, sulfate-free, eucalyptus and potent aloe, scalp balance,
Right.
real botanicals,
Keep going.
parabens, dyes, colorants, shampooing. Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Shampooing?
What's the product? Yeah.
Shampooing.
It doesn't say a shampoo. It's
Yeah, it's shampooing.
Shampooing.
Well, this one over here says shampoo, and then at the bottom says shampooing.
Mm-hmm.
What the
and
fuck
it's
is
like,
that supposed to
exactly.
mean?
That's why it is a
It's
what
shampoo!
the fuck file.
And
Who came up with the name shampoo?
but Herbal Essence.
That I don't know.
Herbal Essence. Aren't y'all supposed to be like grammar people over making the labels? Now, Dove, y'all got your shit right. You
Yeah,
got
it just says it's shampoo.
Yes, because that is it's an object. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's what it is
Product.
is a product.
Shampooing.
Which
It's
is
I'm not in the process of shampooing
that is
my
a
hair.
right. That is a verb. That is an action. And it's like the bottle is not shampooing.
Like, is there some language barrier I'm not aware of right now?
That's what I'm wondering
Because why would it have it shampoo and then shampooing?
right.
Because they do have, like, the different languages on here. Because they got mineral oil and then huile minerale. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong because I don't understand it.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't know that language.
Right.
It might be French. It might be Spanish. Either way.
Spanish.
But it's one of those things that the shampooing, it's improper grammar.
Shampooing instead of shampoo.
And I'm
So,
not
yeah,
being
that-
petty because we have seen so many things, and we've done videos before where we will take some of the product inserts and read because those are fucking hilarious.
Well, the thing is, oh, brain, why are you doing this to me? It just flew out the window.
Unless it's like a product like Frizz Ease, where it's literally, that's the product, but it also tells you what it does.
Right. I mean, if you got frizzy hair like I do, and it's that sort of... If you don't know why you're buying something or what to do with it, should you really be buying it?
That's literally the people that are looking at this bottle be like, shampoo. What is that? Huh?
Excuse me.
Bless.
Huh? It's for the actual shampooing. What is that?
Now, let me tell you something. If you have difficulties understanding that, you really shouldn't be shopping by yourself.
If you don't know what shampooing your hair is,
And it's like, are you even with
Are you
this?
good?
Also, who needs to know how to use shampoo? Who needs directions to know
Yeah.
how to use shampoo?
Yeah.
That should be
The same
taught.
people that need to be told don't eat soap.
Well, also, like, they're not exactly giving you correct instructions on how to wash your hair
Lather,
correctly.
rinse, repeat. That's the
Yeah, it's
whole
like you
thing.
can't just stick it on the top or else you're not getting your hair clean. You gotta wash your scalp. That's where the oil comes from.
You
Right.
literally, like, you use the pads of your fingers.
Apply
you scrub.
generously. Lather, then rinse.
But they can get it. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of people
yeah,
that
but
can
if
get
people
that.
aren't doing, because you know what, most of the times you'll see on commercials and they put it like, they'll glob it on their hand, then they'll just waft it over
Right.
their hair and they'll just glob it on there. And then they'll just kind of slightly
Now-
massage it in, get it sudsy, and it's like, you're not actually washing your hair.
Some
No, they don't
people
know how to
do
wash
need to be told not how to wash their hair. Some people honestly do need to be told. Do not rake a brush through wet hair.
Especially starting at the top if
I mean,
somebody
if you
has
don't want hair left,
curly
sure,
hair.
you can break it.
If you want hair breakage galore,
The whole point of this is,
do you want to look like the trailer park horror?
well, there's some people that they go for that look. They really do. They like that.
How is this supposed
With
to help?
with dead
On
with
purpose.
dead and
Yeah,
split ends.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to continue
That
reading
fried,
this.
crispy yellow blonde
Yeah.
hair.
There's some people that they do that. They do that on purpose.
So on the bottle it says, the raised lines on the bottom of
real.
our bottle helps
And
our
it's not
low
even a
vision
pretty
consumers.
yellow
What the
blonde.
fuck, all?
It's not even a pretty yellow blonde.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Because, like, it says, the raised lines on the bottom of our bottle help our low vision consumers to differentiate shampoo from conditioner.
What?
What? Repeat that again.
Yeah, these little raised things on the bottom of the bottle are apparently supposed to help you differentiate, if you can't see very well, the difference between their conditioner.
Well, now
the
that's
shampoo.
I guess that's understandable
Is
to
that
a
like
degree.
Braille?
No, at first
Like a
I thought
version
it
of
was.
Braille.
I
I
thought they
don't
were
know.
trying to say, like, something about the amount left in it or something. I was like,
Right.
how's that going to help? And then I kept reading. I was like, actually, I guess that makes sense. If you can't tell the
That
difference.
does make sense. That really does
But, like,
make sense. But
I
that's
have to be honest. Who's picking up the bottle and going, instead of reading it or getting closer, is going, oh yes, let me just braille at the bottom.
yeah, that's true. The same people that put Braille on a
Not to
drive-through Taylor thing,
It's a
so-
clear bottle. The shampoo is clear.
Yeah.
The conditioner is usually
opaque.
an opaque color.
Yes.
Either white or like a pastel of some kind. It doesn't
Yes,
matter.
because it has oils.
You can tell the difference easily, even if you can't see very well.
Right.
If you can't see transparent and
I mean,
opaque,
unless you're blind.
you shouldn't be bathing alone. You need help.
That's true. And the thing is, people that are visually impaired, they usually have their own system of doing some of these things.
yeah.
They've already figured out the way that works for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But as far as the shampooing,
It's,
and then the that's just one more thing. I mean, our language has been attacked for a very long time,
but I do
and
feel like
grammar's been attacked. This is just further evidence of it.
I feel like this is just a very minor example of stupidity being presented.
Yes. And some of the people that are being hired into these companies now are incompetent. They're showing their ignorance, and then if you call them out on it, they get pissy.
Because it's like you don't put shampooing on a product bottle unless you are in the process of describing what you are doing.
Right.
Actually, could you look it up real quick and see if it is like a language difference? If shampooing is like, I don't know, they like to put French or Spanish on.
No, I don't think that it's that same thing. I mean,
I don't know. Because that's the only thing that would make sense in my mind is
none
if
of
it
it
were a
makes
different
sense.
language. But then why would that be the only part on here? Because they usually do, like, here's the English, and
Right.
then here's the secondary language that we
Right.
chose to put on the bottle.
I think shampoo is a language of something.
Very
I
descriptive.
think it is part of some sort of language. I don't know.
I don't know.
Not
but
English.
now let's look at this. Let's face facts. I'm not going to try to make excuses for these people.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
It became a thing not that many years back to eat laundry soap.
True, the Tide Pod challenges.
And it's like, people, how dumb do you have? We made a video about
Well,
it.
it's like the same thing, when they had to start putting caution, this cup is hot, when you would get a hot drink.
Literally, Google Dictionary is telling you shampooing, verb,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
shampooing, to wash or clean something.
right. So you're purchasing shampoo. You are not purchasing shampooing. If you
Yeah.
go to a salon, you're
shampoo.
purchasing shampooing.
Can
Yeah.
we look up where
Wash
the
or
word
clean something,
shampoo came
especially
from?
the hair, with shampoo.
But the point being,
Can
with
we
this,
look up where it came from?
the
word?
Dumbening,
That's what I was trying to find.
you
Yeah.
shouldn't have to tell people, if you've got a ceiling fan going, do not
Indeed.
toss your child near it. You shouldn't have to tell people. There are reminders on stores and stuff
Indian
for
Turkish.
people to go back and check and make sure that they didn't leave a child in a hot car.
Oh, okay. So shampoo is a massage as part of a Turkish bath process. Okay. So is that where we got the word? Because the origin says
Possibly.
it came from Hindi. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, but it looks like it's the same as, like, I don't know if their C is pronounced as an SH, but it looks the same as shampoo.
Right.
And then they
Right.
just put it phonetically
Right.
in the English language.
But I mean, this has been known. It's like Kleenex for a facial tissue.
We should put it of word.
You know, it's not
'Cause I just
that
tell you when
deep.
shampoo.
It's the fact that it has no longer become shampoo. It is shampooing.
Yeah.
And the dumbing, like I said,
Well,
you shouldn't have to
already
tell
know
people
this,
certain
but
things.
Common sense is not common anymore.
No.
People just refuse to think about
No.
anything.
And the reason that some of these product labels have things on them that seem just absolutely absurd is because somewhere somebody either did sue them or there is the potential to sue them.
Well, I feel like that is the greed part of things, is that they knew what they were doing, which is why they did it, so that they could get an easy paycheck from these people, because they didn't want to work for the money, they just wanted money to
Right.
come to them. And
Right.
so they would injure themselves doing something stupid and go, oh, you didn't tell me it wasn't supposed
But
to.
that was
Yeah.
like the woman who had put Gorilla Glue on her hair.
Yeah, you had to go into the fucking hardware section to get that
Uh-huh.
shit.
Yeah.
You knew what you were getting.
Turns out,
Bound to
apparently,
be.
that was a blessing in disguise, because they then diagnosed her with something that they wouldn't have found otherwise. I don't remember what it was, but I remember she had something wrong with her that because she went into the ER,
Right.
they found it. And it's like,
I'd say there was
okay,
more
that's
than
the
one
one
thing
time
wrong there.
stupidity actually probably helped someone.
Probably.
I mean, you had to fuck yourself up first, but
I don't know. It was just like
Oh.
people back in the day. Bill Engvall, which y'all too young to really remember who, was on the one of the blue collar comedy tours years ago.
who was it?
Bill Engvall.
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
He was hilarious,
Uh-huh.
and he was talking about as far as them putting warning labels on preparation
Here's your
H.
sign.
I think it was Jeff Fox.
the other one, yeah.
Was the other one, and he was like,
They
"I
did a
didn't
tour
read
together at
that,
some
and my
point.
mouth is so small I can't eat a jelly bean," which is hilarious. But you shouldn't have to explain to somebody you don't eat hemorrhoid cream.
What?
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Exactly. If it is a or like, don't drink the bleach.
You
I
don't-
mean, you
Yeah.
can if you want to
Why
die.
would you eat it? Why would you eat
Because
it?
this is what I'm saying. That's the whole thing. The dumbing.
And like,
That
just-
makes my hair hurt.
It does make my hair hurt too. And it's just, why?
bring
Why?
back Darwin's Law, okay?
Uh-huh.
I think.
Just
Well, natural selection on
Let
a
the
lot
people
of
die.
this. We
Let the
have
stupid people die.
totally circumvented out of the kindness of people's hearts. This is what happens when you sometimes do not allow nature to take its course.
Well, I do feel like in today's day and age, the reason we have so many warning labels on everything else is because they are not going to take that liability of if someone tries to do something stupid, you can't say, we didn't tell you so.
Right.
But
I mean,
also, there are those stupid people who are like, I'll try it. Surely it can't be that bad. I'm going to drink this bleach.
That's the thing.
I'm going to eat this glass.
That was like there was a story there a couple of days ago. I sit here and I shake my head continuously as I'm looking for our articles to share, that you had these young people that had gone to Lollapalooza or whatever it was, and they had sat on the third rail and were promptly electrocuted. They didn't die,
It was very
but there was an
unpleasant.
electrical charge, and this is because people are too either distracted or just downright dumb to live.
Yes. And they're the ones who keep having kids.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Which is kind of horrifying. If you've got a ceiling fan running, don't throw your baby into the ceiling fan.
That really shouldn't need to be said.
Exactly.
I'm sure if anybody at any point has accidentally, went to stretch and they have a low ceiling, they stuck their hand on the ceiling fan while it was running, they're like, ow!
Yeah.
I'm sure
But
if you, even a feather duster, and, it just...
Oh, sure. Sure, everybody. I mean, when Kid had that loft bed...
Be careful sitting up in that thing.
And the thing was,
It hurt.
I kept telling him
hurt.
even before, when he was first considering that, I'm like, you do understand that is this tile, your ceiling is only this tile.
I mean,
you
hell,
have a ceiling fan. It'll be fine.
as it was, he
Mama.
wouldn't be able to sit up too quickly in bed, or he'd bump his head on the ceiling.
And every
I
so
never had an issue
often,
with that.
I would hear the...
You about did.
It was close, but I never did. But I did hit my head on the fan quite a few times.
Yeah. And it was one of those, he is an adult, so there was nothing that I could do.
I knew the risks.
And-
I just wanted a loft bed, so damn it, I got one. I worked my ass off for it.
You
and
did.
damn
And then it
I
turned out to be
experienced
too
it.
big for the room you were in.
And
wasn't
it's
too big,
like,
it was just-
because guess
Fan
what?
was inconvenient.
Math is, I don't care how many times people
It
deny
was too
it,
big for the room you were in.
a 10-foot ceiling is still a 10-foot ceiling, and if you've got a 6-foot or more bed, that gives you little clearance. Actually, it was taller than 6 foot. I think he had maybe 2-foot clearance. He couldn't even sit up on the top of the thing.
No, it was right at 6 foot. The bed came up to right at 6 foot.
So
And then you're like, this is inconvenient. I don't like it anymore.
because he has so much Aries in his chart, he refused to say, I fucked up. So it's just,
On that,
it's like,
I still say I
okay,
didn't fuck
you do
up. I
you.
liked it.
You
I
do
just
you.
got tired of it.
Because
Yes.
you kept getting hit with the ceiling fan.
Oh, nothing like says good morning like getting up and having a slight concussion.
It's like
Man, why do I have a headache? Oh, yeah, ceiling fan.
Oh,
I might have mild amnesia from all the brain damage.
Oh my God. But it has gotten ridiculous. And it's like, now they're trying to put warnings on top of warnings on, and it's like, look, at some point, you cannot cater to everybody who is stupid.
I feel like it's not so much a catering to stupid people to keep them alive. I feel like it's more of a liability thing where they're like, if we try and say, do not do all of these things that you should not do with this product, nobody can try and sue us and say, well, you didn't tell me I couldn't do this.
Well, then why don't they make a label that says, this is the intended use of this product. Any other usage is
They have to have a whole
unauthorized.
disclaimer on the back of the product.
Or they could just put it in bold letters.
Do
Any
not
other
use
use
outside
is
of
not
this expressed
recommended.
purpose.
Yeah, and that would just,
It's
it would
better,
take away a lot of
yeah,
the laughs,
because it's
but
better
it
to
would
say
be
what you
more
can
succinct.
use it for rather than saying what you cannot. If it is a specific product, like, Do not use this outside of cleaning your home. Do not use it to clean your fucking insides, okay?
Do not use it to brush
It will not
your
end
teeth.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's like, some of the warning labels I do agree with. Like, the warning people, do not ever mix ammonia and bleach.
Well,
Yes.
that's one that is.
Because that's how you make chloroform.
Absolutely. Well,
It'll knock your ass out.
It produces a poisonous gas.
That's chloroform.
No, chloroform just sort
chloroform
of
just
makes
knocks
you
you out.
pass out. It's a different
Well,
one.
studies show, actually, because they used to use chloroform as a sedative.
Uh-huh.
That's how they would perform
Anesthesia,
surgeries.
yeah.
Yeah, an anesthesia. And then there was actually a far less harmful substance that was made. I don't remember what it was, because I watched a video on, like, the history of anesthetics.
Right. It's fascinating.
But it smelled horrible, so people wouldn't use it.
Right.
They would rather use the one that caused your breathing to slow, your heart rate to slow, and potentially kill you while you were under.
Well, it depends
Rather
on...
than the one that smelled bad but had no side effects.
Right. Well, I can
Because
understand
it didn't
that.
smell bad.
Well, it
But it
depends on
kills
how
you.
bad. It depended on the skill of the anesthesia too. I mean, the anesthesiologists are, full medical doctors, with that being their specialty, and they usually pretty good with their shit now.
Yeah.
You do
was
have to
also-
watch them as far
Yeah.
as, like, with ketamine is one of the sedatives that they will use on some things. And if somebody has a mental health condition that could be, to where they could be psychotic, it's recommended to not have the ketamine used.
Speaking of, like, keeping in the genre of common sense, we now know that it is common sense to wash your hands
Yeah.
after doing things.
No
And
shit.
so when they were performing surgeries, like, between, doing autopsies and then delivering a baby, the first person who said, you should wash your hands because you're killing your patients when you're fixing up dead bodies and then delivering a baby.
How was that not common
He was
sense,
then
though?
stuck in an insane asylum, beaten, and killed.
But you know what?
Because he told people, you should wash your hands. There are germs, invisible things on your hands that are
It's-
killing people.
It says that in Scripture right there in the Old Testament. There is, as far as some of those laws that people want to just poo-poo away, it talks about washing. It talks about don't touch dead things. It talks about if you've got different type of medical conditions that you had to be put away from the rest of the population
Yeah, like if
until
it can transfer
whatever.
to someone else.
Right. And it did talk very much about bathing.
Yes.
So,
Well, back in the time when people weren't so fond of bathing, it was because they were dumping their shit in the river. They had no clean water, and so they would use powder and stuff, and they were rather stinky because they couldn't bathe. They had no non-poisonous water.
well, I think now that was more the European cultures
Yes.
that were doing that.
Which is why when the Danish people or the Nordic or whoever, the Vikings came over, the women were fascinated because they were well kept. They brushed their hair, they brushed their teeth, they bathed every day, and they were like, what? They're so clean.
Well, it's the
So they
Arabic
found them
people.
more attractive. And so the English people were like, we hate this. They're taking our women. It's like,
It's like, you stink. You smell of
Literally.
piss. The Arabic peoples, as far as very hygienic also.
I feel like you would have to be. Sand gets
That-
everywhere
well,
and sweat.
Sweat, that
Yeah.
hot and stuff like that. Because
And you just
there's a lot
physically
of,
feel gross.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sweat doesn't feel good.
no.
No.
And
It's your
as
body
far as
saying you're too hot.
the oils
We have to
and
get rid of it.
things, the oils and things
Yeah.
on your skin, and then it clogs the pores, and then you get boils and all these nice things like that. So those, health product labels and that type of knowledge is great, but I think we're going backwards.
Yeah.
And they're telling people, I have read recently, how that you don't have to bathe that often. And I honestly think that someplace
depends on where
had
you
said
are.
like every 2 weeks.
Was this like, yeah, there was a nurse or a medical professional, whoever, I don't know what her title was, but she was like, you only need to bathe like every 3 days or like twice a week or something.
Well, hell,
and
down
this
at the
black
jail,
man
it was every
who's from
72
Louisiana
hours.
legit just said, if I can smell you, she ain't talking to you, fam.
Right.
It's like, listen, if you smell like a crab boil, She ain't talking to you, fam. It's like, you need to bathe at least twice a day, depending on if you're down here.
Right.
It's like, obviously, this woman never heard of swamp ass.
Right. But it's like things that are common sense, and it does depend on where you are living.
Yeah.
You can't make, and everybody wants
Because
a one-size-fits-all
if you're living in, like,
solution.
a dry
doesn't
heat
happen.
area where you're not sweating so much because it doesn't affect you like that, sure. If you're not sweating and feeling nasty, or, like, you know, if you're not exerting yourself, sure, you can go by bathing twice a week or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like,
Older
if you were
people-
in
older
our
people
area,
can, you
where
know.
right now it is hot and humid,
Oh,
and
yes,
even
that's
on the
it.
days where it wasn't humid, it was still hot, you would sweat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I need to bathe every day.
It's hot.
I don't wash my hair every day.
It's so hot.
Some of the older people, and it was what they would take a bath once a week here in the area, because it was so cumbersome for them to get
Because
water.
they didn't have indoor plumbing.
Absolutely. And then heat the water,
Because
and they
back
made
when-
lye soap,
Yeah.
and lye soap will kill, they'll take hide, hair, and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because back when our water pipe burst
That's
and
a rough
we didn't
soap.
have running water, we went down to the creek and we would have to put it in the toilet tank to flush. And, like, that's a lot of work.
Sure.
Because you just have a bucket that you have to fill up at a creek,
Right.
take it back up to your establishment or your house, put it somewhere, and then flush. And then you'd have to do it again the
True.
next time you had to use the bathroom.
But now, let me also say that these
Total
people...
baths are not very enjoyable.
people would wash off. They would take bird baths, is what they call
Yes.
them. Where you would, that's why they had the big wash basins
That's what we
and
call
different
puddle
things.
baths.
Yeah.
You would just have a container of water.
Yeah.
You would take a cloth and some soap,
Uh-huh.
and you would wash off, and then you would rinse off,
Mm-hmm.
and then you were done.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You hit the high points and go on.
Uh-huh.
But as far as the shampooing and the dumbening, and I swear to you, and
dumbening.
don't throw the babies into the
Dumbening.
ceiling fans.
That.
Don't eat
Don't-
this dishwashing
Don't
detergent.
play.
Or
Don't
clothing
play in the
detergent.
traffic.
Babies.
Oh,
Don't shake your baby.
It's like,
it
what?
just makes my hair hurt. It really does.
Don't-
It's like, why are we saving these people from themselves?
And are we doing it at the demise of other people?
Like,
Yes.
if they're doing it, it's like, oh my god, there were stupid people. It was involving boats. They would be going at high speeds, you know, as boats do, and then
Right.
they would jump off.
Yeah. Not
Do
understanding
you realize water is
physics.
like a non-Newtonian fluid? You hit it hard enough, it's
Like
like hitting
cement.
concrete.
It
Absolutely.
hurts.
And I can't
That's
tell
why you body flop and you see people with these massive bruises.
Uh-huh.
Because water, sure, if you give it a point and you can submerge,
Right.
that's fine.
You
If you
break
hit it with a
into the
flat
liquid, right.
area, you're going to really hurt yourself. Not
That's
to
why-
mention, this is a boat with a propeller. If you jump off too close,
That's what I was going to say. I can't tell you. There have been quite a few over the past couple of weeks, quite a few tragedies involving boat propellers.
it's because there's this new fucking trend going on. They're doing it for the views. They're doing it for popularity.
Wait,
because
what?
it's like a stupider version of Jackass.
Right.
Wait,
well, now some of
what?
this was people, again, common sense. If you've got small children or whatever it is, and you've got a boat that is going at a high rate of speed, you better make sure
You
those
strap them
children
in.
are tethered down. Right.
Because they are not fully functioning yet. They're still trying to figure out how to people.
Right. Right.
They don't know any better. But these adults,
Right.
they should know better.
I am so confused as far as that. I'm so lost.
No, seriously,
What is
it's-
going on?
There's been quite a few reports over the past couple of weeks of people being thrown off of boats or whatever and being killed by the propellers of the boats.
And there was also a TikTok trend where these people would go at high speeds on purpose and
then
jump
jump off.
off the boat.
Because people are stupid.
Why? I don't know.
That's
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
part that's confusing you because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Because logically, we're sitting here going, that is a bad idea. If you've ever jumped off a high dive at a pool, you know if you land wrong or if you body
It'll hurt
flop,
you.
it hurts. You can cause trauma to your body.
see, I ain't on that side of TikTok. Apparently.
I'm not either, but I've seen it through videos of people covering it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know if you guys know who Dr. Mike is.
I don't.
Seems like I may have heard of him at some point.
Probably. Because I was watching a video with him, and he was interviewing one of the Try Guys, Zach, who has a autoimmune disorder called ankylosing spondylitis, which means his bones grow more bones, and then it stiffens up.
Right.
And so he was talking about, like, how the healthcare system in America is failing, and it's not even just America, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But he can only speak to America because he is a licensed medical doctor in America.
Right.
Hocus pocus, extra
And
bonus.
so he was talking about, like, the whole common sense thing about just because it's natural doesn't mean it's safe. Because, like, he went on to give us the easiest examples. It's like cyanide, uranium, these, like, lead. These things are natural. Doesn't mean they're safe.
Right. Well, was he, as far as making
Because he
the
was talking
argument
about, like, the
against...
supplements, these medicinal things that people are trying to say,
Right.
it's a miracle cure-all.
Well, and that's always snake oil.
And it's
but-
like, these people are so desperate for something.
Right.
Because the medical field is just like, you have to pay out of pocket like $5,000, and the insurance doesn't want to pay for it. And then they're like, okay, well, what if I go for the supplement route? What if I go for these herbal remedies? And it's like, it depends on who you're getting it from, because they
That's
can
true,
fill
too.
it with things that
Absolutely.
are poisonous to you.
That is true.
It's like, you gotta know who you're getting it from,
Yeah.
where
So he-
they're getting it from, because
so
you
he
know there's always a
wasn't-
middleman.
He wasn't total
no, no.
anti-alternative healing. Okay.
No, he was just talking about how, like, people always want to go for the, oh, well, it's a natural remedy. It's like, just because it's natural doesn't mean it's safe.
There's a lot of
If
things
something
that are,
doesn't
you
have
know.
a side effect, it's not doing anything for you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. As far as there's different herbs, and it depends on it, because most of our medicines are based on botanicals. Mm-hmm. Most of them.
Yeah.
Except that they have taken away the good stuff a lot of times, as far as the
Yeah.
alkaloids and all the different things that make it actually
I actually
work.
discovered that that's why, like, if you've got, like, a hard-to-make medicine,
Uh-huh.
and occasionally they'll just tweak it a little bit, and there is no generic. It's because they don't want to give up the patent, so they tweak a little
Absolutely.
bit to renew the patent so that
Sure.
nobody else can have it.
God love you. You didn't know that? Hell,
I
knew that
did
back
on
in the
some degree,
80s.
but they were talking about, like, the
Because
medicine
they've hidden that.
Yeah, but that Zach had to take is that he's tried like 3 or 4 or 5 different medicines. I think he said he's on his 4th or 5th, and that it would work for a little bit, and then it would not work.
God love him.
And, like, it took him over 10 years to get diagnosed.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew what was going on.
Sure.
And also, he said, he actually made sure to say, it's like, it's not because all of their fault. Like, I had a part to play in this as well, because I would underplay my symptoms.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, you know, I'm, you know, my back hurts a lot. And they would say, oh, well, you just have a bad back. And he goes, oh, yeah, you're right. It has to be that. It can't be anything worse. It was the denial of,
Sure.
something can't be that wrong with me, right?
Well, I don't know. That goes into a totally different cup, as far as that's the deadening.
True.
That is the
The
deadening.
deadening.
Yeah, because you got to realize, by the 1% and the globalists and stuff like that, they consider people that are not one of them as useless eaters.
Yeah.
That is a term that they have used before. Yeah.
Yeah, that puts that one TikTok clip into context. That one
Yeah.
American Horror Story
Yeah.
clip.
But anyhow, before we get totally dark on this shit, this is about the dumbening.
Dumbening.
And we know-
Don't drink it while it's too hot.
We
You will
know
burn yourself.
that our people,
Shampooing is a verb.
the people that watch this channel, they're not stupid people, or they wouldn't still be here. Because,
Or maybe they are and they're learning stuff.
well, no, I'd say that the stupid ones don't last long, because
Fair
when we
enough.
go some of our tangents and stuff, they're like, I'm no longer amused. I'm going to, it's like, whatever. But a lot of our viewers are older,
Yeah.
which is good, because
Which
they're
means they have
kind-
common sense.
Well, they're kind enough that they will share their life experiences, which allows us to learn from them.
yeah.
And we do have some young ones and stuff like that, but they're respectful enough to where they will learn.
Yeah.
And it's not like we invalidate their experiences either.
We're very
Yeah.
inclusive over here.
I mean, we've got 3 generations right here. We got
Legit.
Gen X and Millennium and Millennial. And then we got the Gen Z kid,
Yeah.
Possum Chow.
Possum Chow.
Hey, he's Possum Child. I'm Cat Lady. Nice to meet you. We got Batwoman over there.
Oh, I'm the old bat. It's like I have earned that. Elder Goth does not suit me. Old bat suits me quite well. Yeah, I'll embrace that. So as far as the Dumbening, final thoughts on this?
Stop. Just stop. I understand you want it as a liability thing, but stop. Just let the stupid people kill themselves off. Stop trying to save them.
It's not going to stop anything. It's not going to stop anything.
They're still going to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, just if they're too dumb to live, just let them go.
That is what happens with the natural selection.
It's like, what do we do? What do animals do? If their children aren't viable, either like the fucking hamsters, they'll eat them. I'm not
Yeah.
saying we should do that, but
Right.
like
they
oftentimes, if it looks like they are not strong enough to survive, they
Right.
will abandon them.
They will get eaten.
Or if they're too stupid to live, they will probably get eaten by something
Yes.
or killed by something else.
Yes.
And it just so happens that people are doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
So can we stop trying to save the stupid people? Let nature take its course?
Please.
We're going to have to. We're going to have to. That or what. But this is what concerns me going on
Because they're
today.
just making more.
I had told a friend of mine that I had a spare tinfoil hat that I would gladly share with her because I presented her with facts. At first, she saw my Alex Jones shirt today, and she's like, "Oh my goodness!" And it was like, "I love you in spite of it." And it was just good humor,
Yeah.
banter.
It was, I don't necessarily agree with that,
And
but
it's
I
like,
love you as a person
I've
anyway.
lost a lot of friends over the years over stupid shit like politics and different things like that. But now this lady,
It's because people
no.
can't understand that some people have a different opinion than you.
Right, and it's okay.
That
but
is how, surround yourself with people who have different opinions than you so you can learn from them.
This
You don't have
lady-
to agree with everything they say.
this lady, when I presented her with the evidence of what had happened with the Maui fires,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Oh my God."
Because for
And
the
I'm like,
normal
yeah.
people, it is unfathomable to think that someone would do that.
Yeah. But this is also part of the Dumbening is the propaganda.
Yeah.
And it is all smoke and mirrors. And it's like, while, really some heinous shit is happening and the people are not knowing
Yeah.
because they're still too worried about poor little Britney Spears embarrassing herself, or Prince Charles. Is that his name? Who is that Prince Andrew? The redheaded kid.
I don't know. I don't follow them.
With the Meghan Merkel or whatever. I mean, these people have no basis in my life, whatever. But that's that's another distraction technique.
Yeah.
Full on.
And it is all smoke and mirrors. But that is part of the Dumbening.
And I
And
also
they know
feel
that
like they're
part-
weaponing the Dumbening so that they
Sure.
can continue to get away with their
Absolutely.
heinous activities. So that it's
Absolutely.
like, here, look at this stupid thing over here so that we can continue doing what we're doing in secret.
But the reason they had that article about the babies and the ceiling fans,
Uh-huh.
they knew they had an audience that would read that and need that knowledge. Honest to God. That's frightening.
That's extremely worrisome.
Uh-huh.
If you look at a ceiling fan and go, yeah, I could throw my baby into that. It's safe.
Or people not.
Who
And
put
I
my
think it's
baby
they
in the
just
oven?
they are so unaware of their surroundings that they would.
They didn't
not
even know the ceiling fan was there.
Exactly.
Oh, God, that's even worse.
Who
Yeah.
put my baby in the
Actually, I guess not, because being ignorant is one thing, but knowing and doing it anyway, I feel like that's even worse, because it's like you have the knowledge to know what to do, you just didn't do it.
Yeah, it's craziness. So
Ignorance and stupidity are different.
ignorance
Who
is
threw my
not
baby in this
bliss.
pan?
No.
It's
Who threw my
not
baby in the
bliss.
pan?
In some ways it is, but in most cases, it's like, you need this information.
Yeah, it's like, pay attention, be aware.
Now, as far as like the politics and shit, sometimes, yeah, ignorance is bliss. You don't need to know about everything
Well-
everyone is doing.
It is,
In some points, it's quite important for you to know.
if you know enough how to target, to target prayer, that's
Yeah.
it. Because God knows more than we do, and I don't want to know everything. I really don't. Really don't. So those are your final thoughts
Yeah.
on this particular what the fuck file. Yeah.
Yes, I reiterate
start over.
one more time. Just let the stupid people kill themselves.
you cannot save everybody. You can't.
Natural selection.
Natural selection is there for a reason.
Yeah. Just let them kill themselves out.
It's a matter of not allowing them to take everybody else with them.
True. Yes, that is a very good point.
Yeah. So that's where the rest of us have to be aware. If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you have a what the fuck file that you would like to share.
Are you the what the fuck file?
Oh, and our people are not a what the, well, the kid became a what the fuck file, so I can't say that. So never mind.
Unprovoked.
Never mind. You can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and that is there in the description box.
And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
Yeah. Know
Yes.
that you're very loved.
Mm-hmm.
Study and make yourself approved on all things. Pay
Yes.
attention. Yeah. Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Ah.